Brown, Steve Tasker with you on a Tuesday edition of One Bills Live on location at New Era Cap World Headquarters, 160 Delaware Avenue here in downtown Buffalo. Stop in and see us if you're in the neighborhood or you're taking a late lunch. But we're joined now by ESPN NFL analyst Dan Orlovsky, whose appearances here on One Bills Live are presented by Caesars Sportsbook, an official mobile sports betting partner of the Buffalo Bills. And Dan, I was quite taken with your instant reaction social post when you provided your own personal opinion update on the NFL MVP race and how Josh Allen has taken the whip down the stretch here and has climbed in to the race with 3 regular season games to play. Your thoughts?
Yeah, he's just been very impressive this last stretch. And you guys know I've said this. There were moments I just didn't think Josh was playing good enough to really warrant being in that conversation. I didn't think he played good in some games. But I'll go back to the context of what's going on and this run that they're on. And obviously 21-0 down on the road versus a good football team, a division rival who's having a great season. And of course, going down 21-0, it takes a lot of people, but there were some big time plays. I mean, I don't know if there's any bigger than that touchdown pass to Knox, but the ball to Cook down to really start that second half after the huge kick return, the dump off to Knox on that little ball fake. And so it's a really big performance by Josh. And I'll continue to reiterate, while very good offensive line, you can make the case it's the worst wide receiver group in the NFL, certainly for a contender. Yet they're scoring almost at will when they need to have it. They find ways to have it or make it happen. Cookie's been great. The defense was great, but what Josh is doing right now, I would say it's probably a 2 at the top between him and Matthew Stafford. Is Drake May still in it? Yes. Is Jordan Love and McCaffrey still in the conversation? For sure. But I think with 3 weeks to go, it's probably one of those 2 guys. If you had to ask me today, who would I vote for today if I had to? I'd still probably lean Stafford, but I think Josh is right there.
We've kind of shifted our conversation because of, that time of year. We've got 3 games left, and it looks like there's kind of a line of demarcation. You get to Houston at the number 7 seed, the AFC. I was telling Brownie this, all 4 divisions in the AFC have different leaders than they did 12 months ago. All 4 divisions are being led by a different team this year, and it's wide open. Now, certainly the 5 and 6 seed in the AFC, it's the Chargers and the Bills, both of whom have only 4 losses. And then it gets down to Indianapolis with 6, Houston with 5. Do you think there's going to be any more shifting between Houston and Indianapolis? Indianapolis looks like they're leaking oil, and Houston doesn't. Yeah. How sure are you that the top 7 teams with Denver, New England, Jacksonville, Pittsburgh, the Chargers, Buffalo, Houston, how set in stone do you think the playoffs are right now on the AFC side?
Yeah, they feel pretty much set in stone for 6 out of the 7. Steve, I'd say the only one that probably in my eyes realistically can fluctuate would be Pittsburgh or Baltimore, depending upon who wins more than likely that Week 18 game. And that probably determines who's going to be that division winner. They're not going to get 2 in the division, but I do think 6 out of those 7 are set. Now, could New England fall off and Buffalo win the division? Sure, it doesn't seem likely, but it feels like that the playoffs for the most part are set outside of the AFC South. Or North.
Yeah.
North, yeah.
I know you also commented on this on social media and on NFL Live. The defensive play calling in the second half really varied. Huge variety of stuff. It's as indecisive as I have seen Drake May in his year plus in the NFL. And to the players' credit, they also executed. You can have a great play call, but you need the guys to execute as well. But I can't remember the last time I saw 3 D linemen, 3 linebackers, and 5 DBs. I'm looking at some of these formations, and I'm saying, okay, that's a new one. Oh, all right, haven't seen that. Joey Bosa's dropping out. What is going on here? So I can only imagine what Drake May was thinking in real time. What do you make of Bobby Babich, Coach McDermott really kind of spinning the wheel and never really letting Drake May get comfortable there in the second half?
Huge reason why they win that game. It was a master class when it comes to Rolodex. We call that, it's just flipping through the Rolodex of play calls. It's a master class on being multiple. And I agree that, there's moments when you can tell the youth of Drake shows up a little bit. And candidly, Chris, I was surprised because in the moment I was thinking to myself, if I was commentating that game, JJ Watt was, I would have said, this is where having a guy like Josh McDaniels is a huge benefit for Drake May, because Josh has been around and seen it for so long. And from second down to third down, the 8 different times they had it, there wasn't the same look once. And there's 2 ways to really impact a quarterback when it comes to really his play. You can either speed him up or slow him down. And they don't have the horses to speed him up. That's a Houston style of defense. So slowing him down is making him think an extra 10th or 2/10 of a second, giving that cast of doubt of what he's looking at. And the reality is this team is built to allow the coverage to help the rush rather than the rush to help the coverage. It's a very good cover unit. And I'll go back to I remember 2 weeks ago against Cincinnati being like, yo, they covered good. They just got beat with great throws. And I think you saw it again. Their coverage unit is high end.
Yeah, to that point, though, the one thing that perplexed me is you still had a lead in the early stages of the second half. And can you explain why McDaniels completely abandoned the run game there? I mean, they just went away from it completely, and they had success in the first half.
Yeah, so I think part of this is, because we got into it with Marcus Spears yesterday about that 3 rushes. So I think they only had 3 series in the second half. I believe they had the ball for like 7 minutes. So like their first series, they get a first down. They throw the ball on first down. New England does. It's incomplete. So now you're in that 2nd and 10 world. That would probably be a time like, hey, maybe pop a run. They don't. A nice coverage rotation. Now we're in 3rd and long. Punt it. They get the ball again. Henderson rips off the long run. So they score. And then I believe the 3rd time they got the ball was only like a minute or something left in the clock. And so I think part of it was because Buffalo got the ball, long drive. So I just don't think they had a ton of opportunity, New England, to actually run the football. And there's maybe a snap or 2 where I can sit there and say, should have tried to pop a run there. Other than that, the main part of it was just they did not have the football to really try to reestablish that run game, and they popped off a long run and won.
Yeah, it's for the entire second half. They had 5 possessions, but only one of them was of any worth. It had 7 plays in it. They had 2 3-and-outs, and they had the
one-play scoring drive.
They had a 1-play scoring drive
right.
that, if you look at the big picture, actually crushed them.
Yeah, their defense was
exhausted. Defense was gassed, had to come right back out on the field, and it was as though they didn't get any break. It was really weird to think about, but yeah, they had 4 possessions in the second half that were 4 plays or less. 1 of 4 plays, 2 3-and-outs, and a 1-play scoring drive. They really didn't have that much information to work with, and I couldn't believe it, but I had somebody say it, they were right. That 1-play scoring drive crushed them.
Yeah, that's a great point. I would love to know the plays before that 1-play scoring drive and after, because I think the drive right before that 1-play scoring drive, I want to say it felt like a 15-play drive. So then the 1 play and then another probably 10-plus play scoring drive. So yeah, I just think it was
13.
For Buffalo, it was a perfect storm of possession.
Yeah.
Fast forwarding to the Browns, Dan, obviously for the Bills offense, it begins and ends with Myles Garrett. First, what have most teams attempted to do to try to at least slow him down to some degree? And what do you think the Bills personnel can do that could work at least at times? Because nobody ever truly stops Myles Garrett.
Yeah, every play there's 4 hands on him, 2 sets. Every play. Run, pass, first down, third down, I don't care. It's a little bit kind of what at least you hope the plan against a Houston would be, but it's harder to do against Houston with 2 ridiculous guys on the outside and very good on the inside. So a lot of teams are just 4 hands on him. A lot of teams are moving. They're constantly moving the quarterback. They're not having him be in the pocket and stand still. The ball's coming out relatively quickly. They're trying to kick the ball to the perimeter. And so this is it's a talented defensive unit that has had moments when they've played very high-end football. It's not only Myles. Schlesinger, their rookie linebacker, has been fantastic. He's probably in the conversation for a defensive rookie of the year, even though the team performance has been really poor and the secondary's good coverage unit. So, but Myles, the team that I would tell you probably did the overall best job was Pittsburgh. Probably 2 months ago, Pittsburgh doubled them every single play, and they moved the quarterback outside the pocket probably 8 to 10 times that game. If you don't allow him to ruin the football game, this is a game that you should have some decent success offensively.
When you look at the other side of the ball, of course, Shedeur Sanders has gotten a lot of conversation about, not only where he was drafted, but the fact they had like 5 guys playing quarterback. They traded away their opening day starter midseason. I mean, a movie script would be disbelievable. It wouldn't have any credibility the way they've run their quarterback room. But Shedeur's in there now. He's had flashes of pretty good play. What is their offense trying to do around Shedeur to give him some success? And where are their strengths?
Yeah, Steve, number one, I'll tell you, the strength is him throwing the ball down the field. He's a really good deep ball thrower. And that's something that they want to try and consistently do. He's confident in it. Isaiah Bond is a guy that he's got a good connection with when it comes to kind of seeing it the same way and tracking the football. That's what they want to do. Now, Tommy Rees has taken over as their play caller, a little bit more creativity with some of their pre-snap stuff. But from a pass game perspective, that's kind of what they want to do. The other part, pass game-wise, rookie tight end Harold Fannin is a little bit like a Kincaid for Bills fans. Very good athlete. They like to try to create matchups with him. They're constantly moving him to create those choice routes. I can go out, I can go in, I could sit. He's a very smart player, savvy, really good route runner. So matching him up is going to be a big deal. But there's also a rookie running back in Quinshon Judkins who's fantastic. He's got great balance. He's strong, outstanding burst. It's touches. They'll throw him the screen game. They'll hand him the football off. You're going to have to tackle well, both in between and out on the perimeter, in between the tackles and outside the perimeter. It's a very good young class in Cleveland, and those are some of their rookies. So, yes, Shedeur's part of it, but you got to pay attention to Judkins.
Yeah, Judkins is a great tackle breaker.
If
you're the first guy to him, you got to get him on the ground or at least hang on and wait for help because he is a load, and Fannon's their leading receiver this season. Dan, appreciate the time as always. We'll let you get out of here, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Thanks, guys.